Welcome back, YouTube. In today's video, we're going to take a deep dive into some of the macros here, to what's going on and to what happened overall in crypto. I know that a lot of people on the channel that follow the channel, they're typically hyper focused on Dogecoin, but what took place today is actually much bigger, and it literally sent shockwaves all throughout the market. And this is not a result of shorting. As I mentioned, if you follow me on Twitter, you know I've been talking about this all day. And I even mentioned this yesterday when I was stating that what we're seeing here is not shorts. This is more of an organic dump or something like that from a large whale or from a wallet. And that turned out to actually be the case. And if you're wondering what I'm talking about the FTX bankruptcy, pretty much what is sending shockwaves around the internet right now. And it's really a dire situation to what's going on. Typically, if you read the articles or like the release statement from the FTX, you'll see that on a normal day, they'll see tens of millions of dollars of withdrawals on any normal day. And pretty much over the last 48, 72 hours, they've seen around $6 billion in withdrawals across the company. And of course, they did not have the money to cover that. And yes, this is the same company that was talking about buying Robinhood. This is the same company that was lending money out and pretty much sending the the Lifesaver, the Raft, to all these other brokerages that were going bankrupt earlier this year or proving to be insolvent. FTX was that superhero. They were put on their cape. They had all the money, and they were really positioning themselves to be the market maker in crypto. But for those of you who have been following my channel for a while, you know that we talked about this a little over a year ago. And I said that if we're not careful, we're going to mirror the stock market. That video series is called The Consolidation of Crypto. I said that we're going to have two. We're going to have one with the actual crypto coins. So we're going to see a consolidation of the coins, and we're going to go from 19, 20,000, however, to a much smaller number. And we're also going to see a consolidation of the brokerages, which we've seen earlier this year. And now we're getting down to, the final consolidations. And typically this is how, at least in America, this is how the markets have worked. We typically do not have a bunch of, brokerages or options when it comes down to this type of power. Typically you'll have the market maker and they'll process 80, 90% of all the orders. And this is a really big deal because technically crypto is supposed to be decentralized. And if we have basically a Citadel or a BlackRock of crypto, where they pretty much, all orders go through them, if they prove to be, bankrupt or, scammy or whatever, it's kind of hard to do anything about it, especially with new orders, because this is how we have so much corruption and BS in the stock market. This is why you have people front running your orders or being able to short it to oblivion, if they don't like it, or if you take a position opposite to their interest, because they have control and they can see all orders when they come in live. And so you're pretty much left helpless there. And I want to take this time out as well to take a break from that and to say that this is why it's extremely important that you do not hold your crypto on exchanges. If you follow my channel, you know that I've wrote a number of articles on Reddit and Twitter and stuff like that. It's been seen by over 100,000 people about shorting and why to remove your coins to, something like a ledger. I have a link, an affiliate link with them in the description section. It's what I use personally. And this is going to be your protection in some of this BS when these companies go bankrupt and when they, over leverage themselves, and you wake up one day and just find out that all your crypto is gone because it's either going to be tied up in court or they had to sell it, or they can't let you withdraw it because, they overpromised on some things that they couldn't deliver on. So you can avoid that by having your own wallet. And I highly recommend you remove your coins from the exchanges so that you don't get caught up in any of the turmoil, because there will be more to come. This is not the end of the consolidation of crypto. If you haven't, please go watch that series. It's very important. And I do believe that everything that I talked about in those videos is going to come to pass. So certainly check that out. Getting back on today's events. So yeah, this is going to be absolutely terrible for, in the short term, you can see a run, but overall for the crypto market, this is trending toward not so decentralized. And this is trending toward market maker, something like a Binance or something, or someone having absolute control over all orders being processed into the crypto market. So, or not all, but at least the vast majority, right? And you're creating like literally a crypto mirror image of what's going on in the stock market, which is what people are trying to get away from. So what we're seeing here is even today in today's pricing, what you see with like Dogecoin, because we were projecting 17 cent. This is where the trend was headed, and then massively. And this is another thing I was telling everybody too, was be careful of this gap down area once we break below of the 11 cent. And of course, we literally mirrored it, and we started catching ground here around the 8 cent. We got a rejection right here, and now we're building up a green candle. And if you follow me on Twitter, because I can't, I don't think I'm gonna say I can't, but I typically don't like to get on here and make 20 videos a day. So if you want like minute to minute updates or quicker updates in between my video, just follow me on Twitter. I mentioned that we were probably going to get a rejection here or see 8 cent, and I posted a screenshot of that in the community section on YouTube. So if you want more information in between videos, just follow me on Twitter, and I'll be able to relay information a lot faster than just recording a video. Because I don't think everything needs a video. Sometimes it's just a message. So I use Twitter and stuff for that. But yeah, this is what we talked about earlier this morning. I said that, okay, if this breaks, like 11 cent, or we break our resistance, we can see 8 cent. And that's exactly what happened. And we got that rejection. So it's looking like we're building up some support here at around 8 cent. But overall, we're seeing massive wallets withdrawals and dumps onto the market. And I do not believe this is completely, retail. Any type of movement like this, because we've seen that Bitcoin went down to 18,000. It was just all across the market. This is not isolated to Dogecoin, but this is big money, big institutions doing stuff like this. And it can cause panic, and that can kind of triple over and cause people to start selling, or shorts can take advantage of something like this and say, oh, now's our chance, and try and short it down or something like that. But this is not caused by a retail movement. Obviously, this is bigger than, what's going on with Dogecoin and Twitter and stuff like that. So Dogecoin, when you have wallets of that magnitude dumping coins or moving coins and have that kind of fear in the market, no one's really kind of safeguarded against that. And we've seen that even with some of the titans in the crypto area. So that's what's going on. It's not a matter of someone isolating Dogecoin, because I saw the comments earlier today, and it's not an isolated event. And I wanted to let you guys know that overall, we've got a rejection here. So this is letting me know that retailers, the people who are building and are optimistic on the integration and stuff like with Twitter, they're the ones that's taking advantage of this and buying. And like I said, at 8 cent, I was going to start buying again, and that is the case. Because technically we're not threatening a full retracement right now, which is what I was thinking was happening until I found out about some of the macros here. But we got a rejection here where we should have got our next rejection. This is very typical. This gap down, we filled it, and we got a rejection here where we had some of the breaks and rejections before. So this is very normal, and this is a good, healthy stop. Now we're going to have to see where this next candle closes and kind of what information we get, what kind of like the who, what, when, why, over the next 48 hours as far as to what took place today. But overall, this is a good, healthy stop, and this should give us a green candle next, and we should start trending the other way, especially for the people who are interested in like the coin count and stuff like that, and not just the ones that, or at least not that for those wallets that have influenced the prices and kind of pushed everything down. And that's just mostly not even retail selling. That's supply and demand. When you have those type of withdrawals and a surplus of coins comes onto the market, it drops in value. That's simple supply and demand. That's nothing to be spooked about. But where we close our next candle is going to be very important. And we should, if those, especially with the surplus and that linked onto the market, hopefully I can get some numbers to what magnitude that happened. And we'll see how that surplus is being handled, like whether or not it's kind of like sitting on the market due to low volume, or if it's being purchased. And we should start trending back up, because right now we're in gap up territory. So the same thing I said here, if we hit here, we can gap down. So this here, we can certainly see a gap back up to around that 11 cent range. So it works It's literally like opposites here. So the same way I was telling you guys, like the last 2 or 3 days, we can see that fall down. We're right here where we caught support. We can see that gap back up. So that's what I'm going to be looking for over the next day or so to kind of see what's going on. But ultimately, we're going to have to kind of wait and see what additional information is going to come out. But we do know where the trajectory is headed. We do know where Dogecoin was initially getting support. So for those of you that were, trying to buy at like 10 and 15 cent and was like, oh my God, I don't want to buy a Doge that high. I'd rather buy it in the single digits. Doge is giving everybody, and again, not financial advice, but Doge is giving everybody a million opportunities here to make money. So I'm not telling you to hold. I'm not telling you to swing trade. I'm not telling you to do anything. That's your business. But what I'm saying is Doge has provided a million opportunities for you to make money. So you can take that information and do with it as you will. But what I'm saying is we're back into single digits. So if you were not happy at 11 cent or 15 cent, 8 cent to 15 cent is almost 100% return. So that's all I'm saying. Take that information, do with it as you will. But there is an opportunity here, especially we're building support, and this wick is very strong. Very nice, long, good rejection here. So, but again, it's very important when we close for the next 24 hours. So we'll see how this candle forms, but that's a good rejection. So I'm going to have to monitor that. I'm not saying we can't go lower, but that rejection is pretty strong. So we'll see if we hold the line here over the next day or so. With that being said, and speaking of, hedges and hedge funds and decentralization and stuff like that, and not monitoring your orders, check out Moomoo. I have a link for them in the description section. Payment for order flow free trading. You get up to 15 free stocks. And also, if you want my trades in the market where we make money every single week, including this week, we made money, you can check that out via Patreon. And I give my plays every week via Zoom, and we discuss macros and stuff like that. So I appreciate all of you. Like the video, share the video, subscribe if you want to hear more from me, and I will see you in the next one.